my beloved elder statesmen and gentlewomen, dear friends, who have lived through countless springs and autumns, who have witnessed immense changes, experienced profound joys, and walked through deep sorrows. Please listen to me today. My heart yearns to share a truth that will soothe the anxieties and burdens you may be carrying. Many of us, especially as we age, look ahead with a touch of apprehension, a hint of uncertainty, wondering what awaits beyond the next door. But I come to you with glorious news, an unshakable promise from the Almighty, the one who has shaped every moment of your life. As it says in Jeremiah 29:11, "For I know the plans I have for you, declares the Lord, plans to prosper you and not to harm you, plans to give you hope and a future." The doors that stand before you, some clearly visible like the morning light, others veiled in the shadows of uncertainty, are not random thresholds you stumble upon in a chaotic world. They are not the products of chance, nor the frantic, desperate grasping of your own efforts. No, my friends, these doors have been chosen, meticulously selected by a hand far greater than yours, infinitely wiser than any counsel you could ever seek, wiser than all human wisdom combined. Let that profound truth sink deep into your soul, bringing you comfort and undeniable peace. These doors are not mere options. They are divine appointments laid out with intentional purpose and boundless grace, placed right at your feet. The path you walk, my dear ones, is no accident. Every single step you take, though often feeling uncertain, faltering, or even stumbling, is carefully measured and profoundly purposeful. They are an integral part of a vast, glorious tapestry, intricately woven by God's sovereign will. You may not see the entire picture now, but trust me, every thread, every pattern is precisely where it needs to be. There is a power here, a deep, unexpected peace, to be found when you truly understand that the doors you long for, the moments you wrestle with, the opportunities you ache to grasp, all have been set in place by the Almighty, ready and waiting for you. If you could glimpse the magnificent magnitude of this truth, you would cast aside the heavy burdens of doubt and anxiety. You would release the fear that tightens your chest and weighs down your spirit, the fear that is stealing your joy and your tranquility. For God has not given us a spirit of fear, but of power and of love and of a sound mind, says 2 Timothy 1:7. You would cease pushing, pulling, and battling against the currents that carry you. Instead, you would rest, truly rest, in the unshakable sovereignty of God. For when He chooses a door, it is not up for negotiation. His choice is final, and His timing is utterly flawless. He is the greatest architect, and His plan is always the best for those who trust Him. As Proverbs 3:5-6 advises, trust in the Lord with all your heart and lean not on your own understanding. In all your ways submit to Him, and He will make your paths straight. What truly matters is not what you see with your earthly eyes, not what those eyes convince you is possible, or what your hands desperately try to control. What truly matters is a complete surrender to the one who holds every key, who commands every gate, who orchestrates every single moment of your life with wisdom far beyond human comprehension. He is not just the creator of the universe, He is its sustainer, and He sustains your life with an unending love. How often do we spend our lives pounding on doors that will never open? Isn't that true? How much precious energy do we waste chasing after promises not meant for us, knocking on gates that never yield? But here, right now, you are invited to stop that struggle. The door God has chosen for you stands ready to be opened, not by your striving, but by His perfect will. For it is by grace you have been saved through faith, and this is not from yourselves. It is the gift of God, as Ephesians 2:8 reminds us. No force is required. No manipulation, no desperate plea. That moment will come, and when it does, no person, no power, no circumstance can ever shut that door again. Likewise, the doors God closes are sealed by his decree, unbreakable by any human hand. This is the divine law of his kingdom, a law built upon infinite love and wisdom. Trusting in this, my dear friends, will bring you a peace that the world cannot give, nor can it take away. Live in this amazing truth every single day. In your darkest moments, when the struggle feels endless, when the pain seems unbearable, when uncertainty steals your precious sleep, know this: every hardship, every trial, every tear that falls is a part of a greater plan. God is working in unseen ways, weaving every challenge and every victory into a grand design that you cannot yet fully comprehend. You are not wandering aimlessly, my friends. You are a crucial part of a masterful orchestration, a symphony where every note, every silence, every crescendo serves a divine purpose. Let this bring deep comfort to your soul. And we know that in all things God works for the good of those who love him, who have been called according to his purpose. Romans 8:28 assures us. You don't need to understand the full composition. You only need to trust the composer, the one who created it. He holds the keys to every door you require, the doors that will lead you to your ultimate destiny. This truth is both ancient and forever new. It is the very foundation upon which we build our faith, a foundation that cannot be shaken by the storms of life. This truth is not a mere cliche, but a living promise carrying the weight of eternity itself. Your word is a lamp for my feet, a light on my path. Psalm 119, 105 declare. God's timing is perfect. Though it may sound like a tired phrase, a cliche we've heard countless times, it carries the profound weight of eternity. Our human minds crave control, they demand immediate answers, and they often try to rewrite the divine script. We believe we know the best path, the right time, the safest way. But God sees the end from the very beginning. He sees every twist and turn, every fall, and every rise. He has already chosen the doors for you. He has made everything beautiful in its time. Ecclesiastes 3:11 reminds us, the very best thing you can do is to stop forcing doors open before their appointed time and to learn to wait with patient faith. His timing is not your timing, but it is perfect. Do not mistake his delays for his denials. Often, a delay is simply his preparation for something far greater. He is working in the quiet spaces, preparing both you and your circumstances for a pivotal moment. But those who hope in the Lord will renew their strength. They will soar on wings like eagles. They will run and not grow weary. They will walk and not be faint. Isaiah 40:31 promises that temptation to despair in the face of closed doors is very real. It presses upon the soul like a heavy fog, obscuring your vision and dimming your hope. But a closed door does not signify defeat. It signifies preparation. When one door closes, it is God's loving hand guiding you to something better, something immensely greater. To cling to what is shut, to grieve over what is no longer yours, is to miss the blessings that are already waiting for you, laid out in quiet, humble abundance. God's plans for you ahead are always, always more magnificent than the past you leave behind. Look beyond your tears and your frustrations, my friends. Fix your eyes on the one who is leading you. He's opening doors even now, that you cannot yet see, new opportunities, new blessings that are slowly revealing themselves. Have you stopped to notice the doors that stand open? The blessings laid before you in quiet abundance. The steadfast love of the Lord never ceases. His mercies never come to an end. They are new every morning. Great is your faithfulness. Lamentations 3:22-23 assures us. So many miss these because they fixate on the doors that remain closed, the opportunities yet to come. But the grace and favor you seek often walk right beside you, quiet and subtle, waiting for your eyes of faith to recognize them. God's blessings are not always loud and glaring. Often they come in humble forms, in soft whispers, in the everyday moments of life that you overlook while chasing after the next big thing. Perhaps you feel hopeless today, and perhaps your dreams feel like grains of sand slipping through your fingers. Yet, you are exactly where God wants you to be. You have not been forgotten. You have not been forgotten. You have not been overlooked. The doors chosen for you are being prepared even now. Trust the unseen work. Trust the quiet movement behind the scenes. Well, God is setting the stage for a breakthrough so astonishing. It will change the very trajectory of your life. Do not underestimate the power of this silent preparation. The waiting is passive. It is fertile ground where God cultivates your character, faith, and strength. Don't strive to understand every minute detail. God's plan is not a puzzle for your mind to solve. It is a promise to your heart, a sacred trust that brings a peace that surpasses all understanding. Or one word. When you surrender your fears and your attempts to control the future, you invite a peace that transcends every circumstance. God is the ultimate key holder, and the doors he opens for you are doors of destiny. For where your treasure is, there your heart will be also. Matthew 6:21 reminds us to focus on eternal things. These are doors you can walk through with unwavering confidence and overflowing joy. You are not alone on this journey. God walks beside you. He goes before you, preparing the way. He will open the doors you cannot open and firmly close those you should never walk through. Trust him. Rest in him. Lean on him. His timing is perfect. His plan is absolutely flawless. When the appointed moment arrives, those doors will swing wide and you will step through with boldness, knowing that the creator of the universe himself has led you there. The Lord himself goes before you and will be with you. He will never leave you nor forsake you. Do not be afraid. Do not be discouraged. Deuteronomy 31:8 declared. What if the reason the doors haven't opened yet is because God is still actively working in you? What if he is refining your character, building your patience, shaping your trust, so that when that door does open, you will be truly ready to walk through with strength and courage? The waiting is not wasted time. It is preparation. Just like a seed buried beneath the soil, your time of waiting is where unseen but vital growth happens. God's timing is perfect, and your readiness is the absolute key. But he knows the way that I take. When he has tested me, I will come forth as gold. Job 23:10 affirms. Behind the scenes, God is moving mountains, shifting circumstances, positioning people, and aligning your life for exactly what he has planned. You don't need to understand the how. You only need to believe that he is diligently working. Why have caveats? What streams make daylight in exile? No. Stop stressing over what you cannot control. Trust what God has already done. The doors he has chosen are the doors he will faithfully open. God is not bound by your clock. He sees the entire timeline from the beginning through the middle to the glorious end. What often appears as a delay is, in fact, divine alignment. Fear and anxiety have no place here. These do not come from God, but from the enemy who desperately wants to convince you that you are forgotten, that your time has passed. But the enemy lies. God's promises are absolutely sure. When he says he will open a door, no force on earth can close it. When he says he has chosen your doors, you can rest, assured completely and utterly. No weapon forged against you will prevail, and you will refute every tongue that accuses you. Isaiah 54:17 promises. Trust that the doors God opens will lead you to a destiny far greater than you could ever imagine. Doors of blessing, of favor, of victory. They will not only meet your needs, they will exceed your wildest hopes and dreams. Walk forward in faith, my friends. Do not let doubt drown out the still small voice calling you onward. Your breakthrough is closer than you think. God's timing is never late. He is always, always right on time. Stand firm in the authority of your Father. He doesn't just open doors, he creates them. When there seems to be no path, he parts the waters. When opportunity appears absent, he makes one from nothing. Trust this God who never fails, who never forgets, who holds your life securely in his hands. Each open door is a monument to his faithfulness, a sacred altar of remembrance. Walk through it humbly, yet boldly, knowing you were chosen for such a time as this. I will give you the keys of the kingdom of heaven. Whatever you bind on earth will be bound in heaven, and whatever you loose on earth will be loosed in heaven. Matthew 16:19 tells us of his authority. The silence you endure is not God's absence, but his profound preparation. In that stillness he is working. You need not strive or beg or run in vain. Stand firm. Stand faithful and focused. When God opens your door, no power can possibly stop it. Sometimes, my friends, doors must close to protect your very soul. Not every door is for you. It is the Good Shepherd knows the way perfectly. He leads you beside still waters and into green pastures. Even through the darkest valleys, he is right there with you. Lay down the heavy burdens of fear, doubt, and anxiety. Stand in the fire of faith, for it is a purifying fire. The Lord is my shepherd, I shall not want. He makes me lie down in green pastures. He leads me beside still waters. Psalm 23:1-2 offers comfort. Faith is not a fleeting feeling. It is a resolute choice. A choice that shapes your eternal destiny. You will rise not by your own strength, but by his mighty hand. The very same hand that calmed the raging seas and raised the dead from their sleep. That hand is guiding you now, unlocking your door, the one you need, not necessarily the one you think you want. Rise up, wipe your tears, clear your shoulders. Why? You should say indeed, but then do it surely. Lift your head. This, my friends, is not the end. This is the glorious beginning of your new journey. I can do all this through him who gives me strength. Philippians 4:13 declares. To believe that God's hand is guiding you is to embrace a faith that does not demand immediate proof, that does not require the world's approval or the validation of your own limited understanding. It's a faith that rests securely on the immovable rock of God's character, his goodness, his infinite wisdom, his unfailing love. This faith calls you to walk forward, even when the path is cloaked in darkness, even when the air is thick with uncertainty. It is a courageous faith, a bold declaration that God's promises stand firm, no matter what storms rage around you. Now, faith is confidence in what we hope for, and assurance about what we do not see. Hebrews 11:1 defines faith. The world tells us to trust what we can see, to place our faith in what is tangible and immediate. But the kingdom of God operates on a higher plane. Its foundation is invisible, eternal, and unshakable. The doors God opens may not look like doors to the world. They might be narrow, dimly lit passages that demand sacrifice, patience, and profound humility. But through them lies a destiny that far surpasses any earthly reward or fleeting recognition. To walk through those doors is to step into the very flow of God's perfect purpose for your life. A purpose that transcends all human understanding. Enter through the narrow gate, for wide is the gate, and broad is the road that leads to destruction, and many enter through it. But small is the gate, and narrow is the road that leads to life, and only a few find it. Matthew 7:13-14 teaches us. In this faith, my friends, there is absolutely no room for fear. Fear is the enemy's insidious weapon, designed to paralyze, to cause hesitation, to convince you that you are alone, that you are forgotten, that your prayers go unheard. But God's voice cuts through all that noise with clarity. Do not fear, for I am with you. These words are not mere comfort, but they are a powerful promise, backed by divine power, a shield for your very soul. When you stand before a door that seems daunting, remember this promise. Fear loses its suffocating grip when you lean into the powerful presence of the Almighty. There is an invitation here, my friends. An invitation to let go of control, to release your tight grasp on your future, and to fully trust the one who holds all the keys. This release is not a sign of weakness, but of immense strength, a surrender that humbly acknowledges that God's ways are higher, His plans immeasurably better. When you truly surrender, you'll align yourself with the divine flow, the current that carries you beyond the limitations of your own desires and into the vastness of God's perfect will. That, my friends, is true freedom. The process of waiting, often so painful, is not wasted time. It is the crucible where your faith is forged and brilliantly refined. Just like gold tested by fire, your trust is purified through trials. The longer the wait, the greater the work being done deep within your heart. Each moment of patience deepens your reliance on God and softens the pride that tries to control your path. Through this refining fire, God shapes you into the person you need to be, not just for what lies beyond the door, but for the sacred journey itself. Consider it pure joy, my brothers and sisters, whenever you face trials of many kinds, because you know that the testing of your faith produces perseverance. James 1:2-3 instructs us. Remember, my friends, God's doors are never closed without a profound reason. Sometimes the very door you desire to open would lead you away from the blessings God truly intends for you. A closed door can be a divine protection, a loving barrier that guards you from harm or harmful distraction. And instead of frantically pounding on it, look for the clear signs of God's grace in the doors that remain open right there for you to see. Sometimes the greatest blessing of all is the profound peace that comes from trusting God's wisdom, even when you don't fully understand the reason. Trust in the Lord with all your heart and lean not on your own understanding. Proverbs 3:5 reminds us. God's choice of doors is always an act of pure, selfless love. He sees the bigger picture, the entire, intricate tapestry of your life, and he always chooses the absolute best path, even when that path includes detours and what seem like delays. His love is relentless, pursuing you even when you stumble, gently calling you back when you stray, holding you close when the road gets incredibly hard. The door he opens is a gateway to his best for you, not just a temporary escape from struggle. It is a doorway to transformation, to healing, to victory. But God demonstrates his own love for us in this. While we were still sinners, Christ died for us, Romans 5:8 declares. Stepping through God's doors means stepping into a brand new identity. It means leaving behind the old limitations, the fears, the doubts, and stepping into the fullness of who God truly created you to be. Each door is a portal to growth, a sacred threshold into a higher calling. You are not the same person you were when the waiting began. God has been diligently at work, shaping your heart, enlarging your capacity to receive his blessings and to carry out his divine purposes. Therefore, if anyone is in Christ, the new creation has come, the old has gone, the new is here. 2 Corinthians 5:17 announces. When you hesitate at the threshold, wondering if you are truly ready, remember that God always goes before you. He prepares the way, equips you with every ounce of strength you need, and stands right beside you to fight your battles. Your courage does not come from your own power, but from the one who conquered death and holds the entire universe in his hand. With him, no door is too heavy, no obstacle is insurmountable. The Lord will fight for you. You need only to be still. Exodus 14:14 encourages us. The journey through God's doors is never easy, my friends. It requires a faith that defies logic, a courage that surpasses fear, and a hope that burns brightly even in the darkest nights. But it is worth every single step, every sacrifice, because beyond that door lies the life you were always meant to live. A life of profound purpose, deep peace, and true fulfillment. It is a life where your unique gifts truly shine, where your voice matters, and where your impact ripples far beyond what you can ever imagine. In those moments of doubt, always return to the unchanging promises of God. He has declared that he will never leave you, nor forsake you. His covenant with you is eternal, and his faithfulness is unwavering. You are held securely in his hands, safe and unshaken. The doors he opens for you are gateways to his glory, incredible opportunities to reflect his love in a world that is desperate for hope. Be strong and courageous. Do not be afraid or terrified because of them, for the Lord your God goes with you. He will never leave you nor forsake you. Deuteronomy 31. So stand firm, my friends. Hold fast to your faith. When the door opens, do not hesitate. Step boldly into the unknown, knowing with certainty that God's presence goes with you. Let your heart be unshackled from fear and doubt, filled instead with the radiant light of his promises. Walk through with a spirit of praise, knowing that you are chosen, you are called, you are profoundly beloved. This faith transforms you completely. It changes the way you see the world, the way you face trials, the way you embrace your purpose. It turns waiting into worship, struggle into strength, and closed doors into new destinations. God, the one who holds the keys to every door, is also the one who holds your very heart. Trust him. I'll follow him. The journey ahead is glorious beyond measure. In the stillness between breaths, in those quiet corners where the world's clamor finally fades, there lies a truth often overlooked. God's timing is perfect, even when it feels like a painful delay. The impatience that stirs in your soul, the restless desire for movement and clarity, these are human, yes, but they also challenge the divine rhythm that orchestrates your life with precision and love. Be still and know that I am God, Psalm 46:10 gently commands. You see, my friends, God is not bound by the ticking of clocks or the shifting seasons of human time. He moves in a cadence far beyond what the eye can perceive, a divine tempo that intricately weaves every single moment into a timeless masterpiece. This timing, though often invisible to us, is never random. It is a deliberate unfolding, a magnificent tapestry of grace that reveals itself in the fullness of time, precisely when it should. The wait you endured, the door that remains closed for now, is not an absence of God's action, but the powerful presence of His preparation. Just like the farmer who waits patiently for the soil to yield its fruit, God nurtures your heart in the shadows, diligently cultivating strength, wisdom, and endurance that only time and His divine hand can grow. It is a sacred process, hidden from our view, yet absolutely vital to the bountiful harvest that is to come. Never mistake His delay for a denial. A closed door today might be the opening of a glorious gate tomorrow, one wide enough to carry the blessings you could never have received too early or too late. For my thoughts are not your thoughts, neither are your ways my ways, declares the Lord. As the heavens are higher than the earth, so are my ways higher than your ways, and my thoughts than your thoughts. Isaiah 55:8-9 explains. God's hands hold all the keys, and His timing is the ultimate expression of His infinite wisdom and boundless love. When you feel the sting of waiting, when your spirit aches for movement, remember that God's delay is never a denial, but a divine pause, a holy hush before the new song of your life truly begins. In this sacred pause, your faith is stretched and profoundly strengthened. It is a refining silence, where doubts are met and overcome, where hope is deepened into an unshakable trust. This, my friends, is the place where the seeds of perseverance are planted and take deep root. The waiting heart learns to lean not on its own limited understanding, but on the absolute assurance that God's promises never ever fail. Those quiet moments are not empty. They are full of unseen work, shaping you into a vessel worthy of the incredible blessings that lie ahead. God's perfect timing teaches us a profound lesson, that life is not merely about rushing toward the destination, but about embracing the journey with patience and abundant grace. Every moment, every season, every closed door is part of a divine choreography, meticulously designed to reveal your character and prepare your heart for what's next. The obstacles you face, the delays that may frustrate you, are not setbacks, but divine setups for something far greater. They are the loving, shaping hands of God, molding you into a reflection of His glory. When the door finally opens, it will not only be a gateway to new opportunities, but a powerful testament to the faithfulness that endured the weight of waiting. He makes me lie down in green pastures. He leads me beside quiet waters. He refreshes my soul. Psalm 23:2-3 illustrates His gentle guidance. The joy of entering will be all the sweeter because you have learned to trust without seeing, to hope without wavering. This is the victory that faith promises, not the absence of waiting, but the triumph and growth that come through it. The wait itself becomes a living witness, a powerful story of resilience that inspires others to hold on when their own doors remain closed. There is immense comfort in knowing that God's timing is perfect because it aligns perfectly with His grand eternal design. He sees the beginning and the end, the cause and the effect, the ripple and the wave. In His mighty hands, what often appears as a delay is simply one integral part of a larger narrative, a story that only He can fully tell. Your impatience, your longing for now, is met by a divine patience that transcends time itself. It is a patience that never tires, that never falters, that waits with unwavering hope. This profound understanding invites you to surrender your own timetable and embrace God's perfect eternal one. The Lord is good to those whose hope is in him. To the one who seeks him, Lamentations 3:25 declares. It is a surrender that brings deep peace, a liberation from the anxiety of rushing and the frustration of waiting. When you align your heart with his timing, you find true rest for your soul. You begin to see that every delay carries a significant purpose. Every closed door holds a promise of an opening that will far surpass your wildest expectations. The Holy Bible reminds us repeatedly, to everything there is a season, and a time for every purpose under heaven. These timeless words echo the very heartbeat of God's perfect timing. They assure us that no moment is wasted, no pause is meaningless. Life unfolds according to a divine clock, one that counts every second with immense care and intentionality. In this sacred rhythm, your story is secure, and your future is bright. As you wait, diligently cultivate patience, not as a passive acceptance, but as an active, hopeful, and expectant waiting. This kind of patience is a powerful form of faith, a bold declaration that you trust God's timing above your own desires. It is a discipline of the heart, a daily choice to believe that God's plans for you are good, always good, even when they seem delayed. This enduring patience produces perseverance, and perseverance builds character. Character, in turn, leads to hope, a hope that will never disappoint. Not only so, but we also glory in our sufferings, because we know that suffering produces perseverance, character, and character, hope. And hope does not put us to shame. Romans 5:5 powerfully states, hope, firmly anchored in God's perfect timing, is absolutely unshakable. It does not depend on changing circumstances or the fleeting approval of others. It rises above the noise of the world and the whispers of doubt that may arise within. It is the flame that burns brightest in the darkest nights, the steady guiding light that illuminates your footsteps through uncertainty. This hope is a precious gift, freely given by God to those who wait with expectation and unwavering faith. In moments when waiting feels unbearable, when the door seems forever shut, recall the inspiring stories of those who trusted God's timing implicitly. Abraham waited decades for a promise to be fulfilled. Joseph endured betrayal and imprisonment before rising to incredible power. David faced years of rejection before becoming king. Their stories are not just history, my friends. Oh, they are powerful beacons, brightly lighting the path for you. They are timeless reminders that God's timing is never late, never mistaken, always perfect. But do not forget this one thing, dear friends. With the Lord, a day is like 1,000 years, and 1,000 years are like a day. 2 Peter 3:8 reminds us of God's timelessness. Your own story, my dear ones, is being written with the very same divine care. Every delay, every closed door is a crucial chapter in a grand narrative of redemption and grace. The wait is not wasted. It is a vital part of your transformation. Through it, you are becoming the person God intends, ready and prepared to step into the abundant blessings He has reserved for you. This knowledge is a profound source of strength, a refuge for your soul in seasons of waiting. So, embrace the wait. Let it teach you to trust deeper, to hope stronger, to love more widely. Do not rush the process or try to force open doors that God has not yet opened. Instead, stand firm in the absolute assurance that His timing is perfect. The door will open at the precisely right moment, neither too soon nor too late. And when it does, you will step through with magnificent confidence, knowing that you are walking into the fullness of God's perfect plan for your life. The beauty of God's timing, my friends, is that it is both merciful and profoundly wise. It protects you from what you are not yet ready for, and it perfectly prepares you for what is to come. In His timing, every delay has a purpose. Every pause is a blessing in disguise. Trust that God's clock is keeping perfect time, even when your human heart struggles to wait with patience. For in that perfect timing, you will find the fulfillment of every hope, the answer to every earnest prayer, and the open door to a life filled with magnificent purpose and boundless peace. He makes all things beautiful in their time. Ecclesiastes 3:11 reinforces this truth. There is a sacred power, an awe-inspiring strength in the simple act of prayer. It is a profound dialogue that transcends mere words and reaches into the very heart of existence. Prayer is not merely a ritual or a set of prescribed phrases to recite. It is the very breath of the soul, the lifeline that connects you directly to the divine presence that watches over all of creation. It is in prayer that your deepest fears find a voice, your quietest hopes take flight, and your spirit finds true rest amidst the storm. Do not be anxious about anything, but in every situation, by prayer and petition with thanksgiving, present your requests to God. Philippians 4:6 urges us. When you pray, you do not speak into a void, my friends. You engage in a living conversation with a God who listens attentively, who understands completely, who moves mountains on behalf of the faithful. To pray is to open your heart in vulnerability, to lay bare your soul before the Creator of the universe. It is an act of both profound surrender and immense courage, a paradox where strength is found in humility and divine power is released in stillness. Prayer is the sacred place where your burdens are laid down and your spirit is lifted. It is where the incessant noise of the world is silenced and the clear whisper of God becomes audible. It is both a refuge and a powerful weapon, a sanctuary and a source of relentless, unwavering hope. In prayer, the ordinary becomes extraordinary. Your very breath becomes a bridge to eternity. Your whispered words carry the weight of heaven itself. And your faith is ignited in that sacred exchange. The act of kneeling, of closing your eyes, of folding your hands, all become powerful symbols of a deeper truth. That you are never truly alone, that your cries echo in the very heart of God, and that divine love envelops you with infinite tenderness. Prayer transforms you from the inside out, reshaping your thoughts, your emotions, and your very being. Therefore, confess your sins to each other and pray for each other so that you may be healed. The prayer of a righteous person is powerful and effective. James 5:16 highlights prayer's power. However, prayer is not always a matter of asking, my friends. Sometimes it is the silent surrender of the soul, the quiet listening in the powerful presence of the Almighty. In those moments of stillness, you become attuned to a voice that speaks beyond words. A voice that guides, comforts, and strengthens your innermost being. This listening prayer is a sacred invitation to rest in God's presence, to be filled with His boundless peace, and to receive wisdom that transcends all human understanding. It is a profound spiritual dialogue where your spirit is nurtured and beautifully renewed. Call to me, and I will answer you and tell you great and unsearchable things you do not know. Jeremiah 33 promise. Prayer also profoundly shapes your perspective. When you bring your concerns before God, you begin to see the world through a lens of faith rather than fear, hope rather than despair. It rewires your heart, aligning your desires with divine will and miraculously transforming anxiety into unshakable trust. In the very act of prayer, you exchange the heavy chains of worry for the light, soaring wings of peace. This transformation is subtle, yet profound, altering not only how you feel, but fundamentally how you live your life. There is an urgency in prayer, a powerful call to persistent faith that does not give up, even when answers seem delayed. Like the persistent widow who kept knocking until the door was opened, your prayers become a powerful testament to your trust in God's justice and mercy. It is a faith that perseveres through silence and uncertainty, that continues to speak even when the heavens seem distant. This kind of prayer moves mountains because it refuses to be silenced by doubt or despair. Ask, and it will be given to you. Seek, and you will find. Knock, and the door will be opened to you. Matthew 7:7 encourages us. Prayer is a communal act as well as a deeply personal one. When believers come together in prayer, their voices rise in a harmony that touches the very throne of God. It is in these moments of unity that the power of prayer is magnified, becoming a collective force that breaks chains, heals wounds, and ushers in profound transformation. Your prayers, joined with those of others, create a sacred symphony that resonates through heaven and earth, echoing God's promise to hear and to answer. Again, truly, I tell you that if two of you on earth agree about anything they ask for, it will be done for them by my Father in heaven. Matthew 18:19 confirms the power of corporate prayer. But even in solitude, prayer is never lonely. It is the intimate conversation between you and God, a dialogue of love that knows no distance or barrier. In your quiet moments of prayer, you tap into the eternal source of strength, courage, and peace. You discover that God's presence is a constant companion, a guiding light in the darkest nights, a steadfast anchor in the fiercest storms. This relationship, nurtured in prayer, becomes the very foundation of your faith and the wellspring of your enduring hope. The power of prayer lies not in the eloquence of your words, but in the sincere heart behind them. It is the humble plea of the broken, the grateful song of the healed, the steady faith of the seeker. God does not require grand speeches or perfect phrases. He desires a heart that reaches out in trust and love. Prayer is the language of the soul, the expression of a life attuned to the divine, and the key to unlocking the miracles hidden in everyday moment. The Lord is near to all who call on Him, to all who call on Him in truth. Psalm 145:18 declares. In prayer, you find the courage to face your fears, the strength to forgive, and the grace to let go of burdens too heavy to bear alone. It is a source of healing for wounds, both seen and unseen, a balm for the weary spirit and a refuge from the storms of life. Prayer reshapes your reality, not by changing God, but by changing you, opening your eyes to new possibilities, your heart to deeper compassion, and your soul to boundless peace. As you cultivate a life of prayer, you begin to see beautiful fruits in every area of your existence. Your relationships deepen, your purpose becomes clearer, and your peace grows beyond circumstance. Prayer becomes the rhythm of your days, the anchor of your soul, and the wellspring of your joy. It is a power that transforms despair into hope, weakness into strength, and chaos into divine order. Never ever underestimate the power of prayer. It is the divine lifeline that connects heaven and earth, the sacred thread that weaves your story into God's eternal plan. And in every whispered plea, every silent longing, every grateful breath, God is listening, moving, and faithfully responding. To pray is to align yourself with the very heart of God, to open the door to miracles, and to walk in the radiant light of His unfailing love. For where two or three gather in my name, there am I with them. Matthew 18:20 assures us. So pray without ceasing, my friend. Let your heart speak freely, and your soul rest deeply in His presence. In the sacred dialogue of prayer, you find not only answers, but His profound presence, not only peace, but divine power. And in that presence, you discover that no situation is beyond hope. No burden is too heavy to bear. No night is too dark for His light to penetrate. Prayer is the sacred key to the door that leads to grace, to strength, and to new beginnings. Hold fast to it, and you will find that God's power is made perfect in your weakness. His love is unwavering in your doubt, and His peace surpasses all understanding. I have told you these things so that in me you may have peace. In this world you will have trouble. But take heart, I have overcome the world. John 16:33 promises. My dear friends, as we look ahead to 2026, let's not just hope for a better year. Let's actively embrace the principles God has laid out for us. Based on the eternal truths we've explored today, I want to leave you with 5 vital steps you can apply to your life right now to find greater happiness, deeper peace, and true success in the coming year. These are not mere suggestions. They are pathways to a life transformed by God's grace. 1. Embrace God's perfect timing with patient faith. Oh, stop forcing doors open before their time. Release the frantic need for immediate answers and trust that God's schedule is always impeccable. What appears as delay is often divine preparation, shaping you and your circumstances for something far greater. Remember, Ecclesiastes 3:1 says, there is a time for everything and a season for every activity under the heavens. Practice waiting with an expectant heart, knowing that God is working behind the scenes for your ultimate good. 2. Cultivate a life of persistent prayer. Oh, make prayer your daily lifeline, a constant conversation with your Heavenly Father. Don't just speak, listen. Lay down your burdens, share your hopes, and find peace in His presence. Prayer is not a last resort. It's your first and most powerful resource. As 1 Thessalonians 5:17 instructs, pray continually. Let your prayers be the rhythm of your days, anchoring your soul in His unchanging love and wisdom. 3. Act with courageous faith, free from fear. When God opens a door, step through it boldly without hesitation or fear. Trust that He goes before you, equipping you with everything you need. Your strength comes not from yourself, but from Him who has already conquered the world. Don't let the enemy's whispers of doubt paralyze you. Instead, recall Isaiah 41:10. So do not fear, for I am with you. Do not be dismayed, for I am your God. I will strengthen you and help you. I will uphold you with my righteous right hand. Move forward with the conviction that God's hand is guiding your every step. 4. Practice gratitude and recognize hidden blessings. Open your eyes to the quiet, subtle blessings that God has already placed in your life. Don't fixate on the doors that remain closed. Instead, give thanks for the ones that stand wide open. Cultivate a heart of gratitude, seeing God's grace in the everyday moments. A thankful spirit transforms your perspective and invites more blessings. Give thanks in all circumstances, for this is God's will for you in Christ Jesus. 1 Thessalonians 5:18 commands. Look around you. His favor is abundant. 5. Surrender control and find true peace. Oh, let go of the need to control every aspect of your future. Release the anxiety that comes from trying to orchestrate your own path. Humbly surrender your plans and desires to God, trusting His sovereign will and His perfect plan for your life. In this surrender, you will discover a profound peace that the world cannot offer. Philippians 4:7 promises, and the peace of God, which transcends all understanding, will guard your hearts and your minds in Christ Jesus. Rest in Him and allow His peace to guard your heart and mind through all of 2026. May God richly bless you, my dear friends, as you commit to these truths and walk forward in faith into a happy, successful, and God-honoring 26. Amen till poet.